Okay, well, hi to everyone at Toro Vergata from Skopje. This has been recorded prior to my trip to Rome. I'm proud to present you Nina Andelovska. She is a founder of the company called Gruper, the biggest Macedonian e-business company, e-commerce
Yes.
company, and she has been now nominated as top 30 under 30 in the Forbes list of young entrepreneurs.
Yes, not only nominated, but,
But
been
so,
selected,
selected,
from the list.
yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Hello
Nina.
everyone from me as well.
Well, will have more than 90 students in class next week, so it will be.
I hope
nice
they will
con-
like our conversation.
Well, I hope too. Okay, Nina. Well, we start with the question: how did you decide to become entrepreneur?
So, I don't know if it's a decision that I can put it that way that I made, but it happened very spontaneously. I can't say that I have ever dreamt to become an entrepreneur, but I won at a most innovative business plan competition, and I got funding. It was small funding to start the business.
It was from Ministry of Economy or Business Angel Network.
No, it was National Center for Entrepreneurial Development and Learning, not a DL, NCDIL, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
So I won that, and it happened right after I graduated. So I got this small funding, and then I started planning if I will dive into if I will begin my entrepreneurial journey. That's how I started, and of course it took a lot of hard work and dedication, and I tried to be best at the implementation because that's how I approach maybe most of the things in life. That's how I was raised or taught. And so we were planning and creating the marketing strategy. I was 21 when we started planning, right after I graduated.
You say we, so this is like a family business, or you had a partner?
No, I have two co-founders. So I won at this competition, and then I was at that time I was doing my internship in another company, which was founded by. Today they're my co-founders in Gruper. And then I presented them the idea, and I invited them to start this business and journey together. So they decided that it's a good idea as well. And then we started preparing the project, the website, developing the marketing strategy, and we launched in January 2011.
At the presentation the other week, the finance thing, you mentioned something about your younger daughter and your family and how you were raised. What do you think about the influence of family? Was there any influence in, let's say, your mindset as entrepreneur?
Yes,
today?
Were
your parents in the business?
Yes,
were
they've been very supportive in whatever I did in the past 8 years, and of course all my life. But I think that everything I am today I owe to my parents. They are my mentors. They taught me to always strive for knowledge. My mother taught me to always try to be best at whatever I decide to do. They taught me, the way they raised me, they taught me always to the true values that to be self-reliant, not to depend on somebody else, to be able to rely on my own will, on my own knowledge, on my own resources, to embrace knowledge from everybody, everywhere, absorb as much as I can. And of course, this hard work and this attitude, when you combine it with a lot of passion, and I developed the passion for e-commerce while I was studying, all turned out into a very successful business. So I think that passion is key to success. And I think that once you have the passion and you put in the hard work, and of course, if you have the passion, the hard work, you won't even feel it that you're working that hard. I think that's the main, let's say, driver, and the financial gain comes as a result, not as the key driver.
So financial gain was not the main motive. Originally, it was the idea and how to fulfill your dreams, let's say.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. So there was no any practical business experience prior to starting your business. Actually, you started from the school directly.
Yes, actually, as I mentioned, right after I graduated, I dived into the business world. But while I was studying, I was devoted to embracing knowledge at the faculty, and then at the same time, I attended a lot of trainings, courses outside the university. I attended many competitions. And every summer I went to a different company for an internship, which helped me a lot to gain at least a bit of a practical experience. I actually did my first in this building. I think the marketing agency Idea Plus was
Idea
here,
Plus
right?
on the other side. We are
So
actually,
my
our school of
first-
architecture is located there on the other side.
So today we're recording.
Idea Plus, yes.
We're recording where I did my first internship. I did it when I was 17 years old and I was in high school. So it was a very good experience for me. And when I actually, if I recall better, I did my first internship when I was 14. My father was working for an international company, and during his trip in Africa, I was a technical assistant and helping him with the emails and phone calls. So everything that I did outside.
So first experience so young on an international level, doing an internship on another continent. Actually.
Yes, and it was a tough thing to do because I was doing it for my father. I wanted to be very professional, you know. So I think that all this helped me very much in building myself and in becoming what I am today.
Okay, now what are you today? You're a successful businesswoman. Sorry, you are a fantastic entrepreneur. Now you have PhD, if I'm not mistaken, or
yes, I do
in
have
economics.
in management. Yes,
Yeah,
in the Faculty of Economics, but yes, it's PhD in management.
So, what do you think about formal education? Did it help you in your business career and development, or?
I think that
Because people say, well, entrepreneurs are dropouts. They don't go to school. So.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of entrepreneur. I believe that good education is very important, especially if we're talking about leading or heading a company, or being a good CEO or an outstanding CEO. You have to be very well educated, and of course there are soft skills that we have to develop, like to be a good leader, to be able to communicate good, time management, organization skills, to be able to set deadlines, to be able to respect deadlines, to be able to make good decisions. And I think that maybe even in today's very fast-changing digital world, it becomes maybe even more important to be able to be a fast learner. So because everything changes, so I say that the only constant is change, and learning is a lifelong process. It's not something that it will never be time when you know enough.
Yes. Okay. Now you that financing event last week. You mentioned also one interesting thing that you don't have HR department in your company, that you are actually the HR manager yourself.
Yes.
And maybe a few words, how do you motivate your employees? It's now part of the process to have a team of, I don't know how many employees you have, but you are actually in the process of selection, recruitment, training, developing
yes,
your
this,
team.
This was actually, we are 18 people now at our team. And I now have a colleague that is taking part in the HR with me in the recruiting process. But when we started, of course, we didn't have the check I got was not that big, so we didn't have the resources to hire an HR, CMO, CFO, or whatever. So I had to juggle all these things on my own, and I'm grateful for that because today I know every single thing that I delegate. I know because I've been through that. I have done it. And in terms of the motivation and how do we motivate the employees, I try to build a culture that relies on true values, transparency, honesty, respect among each other. I think that it's crucial for people to want to go to work and be motivated, their work to be recognized. So as well, we do team buildings where we foster good communication, collaboration. We play games.
What do you think? Do you manage to, let's say, to emanate your values throughout the organization? Do you feel that your values are now the culture of the organization you're managing?
I think so, yes, and I think that the managers or the leaders' values are replicated to their company. So it's very important in today's world, as I mentioned, that it's very fast and the technologies and everything. It's very important to foster positive change, to be an inclusive leader. And one thing that is very difficult, but it's true magic, is to be able to hear everyone and to take these all opposing views and make one decision that makes at the end of the day everybody right and everybody feels good about it. I mean, of course, motivation is something that has to be nurtured over the time. So we also do different techniques by applying gamification. Like people want to play games. Gamification is when you take all the fun elements from games and you put them into a non-gaming context. So that's what I do actually with my sales team. Different challenges that foster internal positive competition. So these are all different things that we use for motivation, and I am really happy to have my team, and I'm really happy with the people, and I think that people make companies, people make organizations, people make decisions. Is that sales representative that goes to the meeting, that leaves the impression, that builds the relationship? Is that customer care that will pick up the phone and leave the impression and build a relationship with the end client and customer? It's that CMO that makes the decision on when the campaign will be launched, what the message will be, how the billboard will look like. So again, people make the good or bad decisions. That's why the only way to be able to have a competitive advantage and to sustain the competitive advantage is to have a highly motivated and passionate team. So that's why I invest that much energy and resources into building people.
Okay, what about...
There's an interesting saying, by the way, that you don't build business, you build people, and then people build the business.
Ah, that's fantastic.
Yes. So
well, to be honest, I'm really glad I see that you've actually immersed as a leader and you're growing as a leader. And apparently, being a leader is much different than being a professional, which
I'm constantly learning
yes.
to improve, of course. And when you ask me about the support and parents, I think that they are the only. Not the only ones, but maybe yes, that are giving me the most honest and very much sometimes can be tough critique and feedback, which is very important for improvement. So I try to be better at receiving that sometimes harsh feedback in order to improve, of course.
What do you think about the future of the company? Do you think maybe if you grow too much, you'll need more professional managers, maybe complete professionalization of though you're also more than educated professional in terms of managing the organization, maybe more IT professionals working?
Yes, that's one of the challenges actually. I think that every entrepreneur has had it. It's called the phrase is seizing out founder dependency, which means that you're able to let go control and to make the business not that much dependent on the entrepreneur, on the founder.
But is this possible? What do you think?
Yes.
Is this doable? One of the things managers always have, that they work very hard and they're not able to delegate enough on the others.
Well, I think that striving for perfection and of course noticing all the details and wanting to have the control over everything is something that I cannot say that I don't have it, but I'm trying to improve and be better at it. So now we have a COO, which I'm very glad about. I'm very happy with her. It's been since
so we have like a Sheryl Sandberg in Grouper now.
Yes, and as I mentioned, I'm very happy with her. And of course, growing means that you have to let go some things, that you have to be able to delegate, and that's when you have to empower people in order to trust them. At the end of the day, if people are to feel happy and good about an idea or execution, it would be very very good if they feel that they have contributed and not only buying into someone else's decisions or ideas. So this is something that I think is very important, and of course I will try to improve at letting go control.
Excellent. Well, maybe for the end, I'm just going to ask that fantastic saying you also had last week about the importance of innovation, invention, creativity, and how does it really affect the business world of entrepreneurs today.
Yes, but many people, especially young people that I've mentored, have been are thinking that becoming an entrepreneur and is to have some groundbreaking idea that will change the world, and that's not what innovation is about. The execution is maybe even more important than the idea. So executing an idea that addresses a certain challenge while delivering value to the company and to the customer is actually what innovation is about. So what Grouper did, because we didn't mention the business model of
yes,
Grouper.
please, you can.
We are an intermediary between the end customers and the companies. So what we do is we negotiate deals with the companies, which can be any company, any industry, like services, products or travel packages, and then we put those deals in the form of coupons online, and end customers can browse through navigate through the deals in different categories, buy a coupon, and then use something, a product, a service, a travel package at a discounted price. So it's practically what we did. We did not invent this business model. It was.
But you were the first in our country.
Yes, we were the first to bring an existing business model that was launched in Chicago in 2008. So this business model, I thought that it's very, very good to bring it to Macedonia, because it incentivized people to buy online, which was not very good timing for launching e-commerce company at 2010. But the right timing, with the right idea, with the right execution, with the hard work, with the passion and everything, gave these results that we have today, and being a leader on the market.
How are you happy with the relationship with your clients, with the businesses you actually promote and sell through your company? Do they stay with the Grouper for a longer period, or they come and maybe you choose another companies in the same business?
I would say that.
Let's say, do they become partners for a long term?
Yes,
in terms of long-term
I love
collaborators?
statistics, so I give you the statistics.
Okay,
but I
please.
think that is maybe more important is not how happy we are with the merchants, but how happy they are with us.
That's the right question.
So the measurement of how happy they are is that we have over 85% of the merchants that we work with have had over 2 and 3 deals published on Grouper, which of course indicates that they are satisfied with the cooperation, with the results, with the clients that we brought, if they're doing their second, third, or 10th deal. So the relationship that we build with the clients is very important, and of course that process depends on the people again, but depends on everything that we do as a team, because in order when we sign a contract, when the sales rep signs a contract, it goes through different 6 people in order to be very well presented, the photographer to make good photos, the marketing team to do a good promotion on the deal, to do a good advertising, the sales and the after sales effect of when people come, the support that we give the sales agent. So it's a teamwork again, as everything else. And I think that they're very happy, and I am very happy when I hear clients calling me and saying, I've had a very good experience with you. You brought me so many new clients, and we are very happy that our business started working. So to be able to help somebody else grow their business is a is a beautiful thing.
On the other hand side, I'm not sure how aware you are, but you're also creating a social mission, because you're providing inexpensive services to a bunch of young kids, students who don't have budget, but they can travel, they can afford things that usually they wouldn't be able to afford.
Yes.
I'm not sure what is that, if you have measurements about that customer satisfaction, the answer, but I hear the students that you're the most used application on their mobile phone, so this is part of kind of broadening horizons.
Yes, and despite this thing that you mentioned, of course, Grouper is also a local guide for everybody, anybody who wants to check a new restaurant, to visit a new place, to book their travel service. But in terms of the social thing, I think that we also educated the market. We educated thousands of end customers how to make their online transaction, how to buy online, that it is safe, how to use their payment card, how to use our mobile app. And on the other hand, we also educated hundreds of merchants about the new trends, and we helped them embrace online buying, actually online selling on the other side. So almost all of the merchants and partners that we have had their first online sale on Grouper. So it's a win-win-win situation.
Maybe the last question, you said you were a local guide. When you're going to become a global guide or at least regional guide? Do you plan to expand in the region, in
yeah,
neighboring countries? Or?
I've been thinking about this for quite some time since a few months ago. But I have at the moment a lot of challenges. I'm working also as a consultant. I am president of the First Macedonian E-commerce Association, and all this again juggling between different things. By the end of the year, we might have some official news that we will say, but by then it's only still in the process of thinking if we are to enter other markets.
Okay, then we just say hi to the students in Rome and...
Hi and bye. So I would like to say a
maybe we can invite some of them
can...
to come next year to Skopje. They can come.
Of course, and I'm sorry that I could not be there to deliver this in person. And I would like to wish them passion and success in life, and to embrace knowledge in every possible way from everybody.
Nina, thank you very much.
Thank you too.